You guys, it's more than fashion today. We're going to get to know this amazing woman who has a great story to tell of her own and also to share some of her beautiful experiences with you. Before we sit down, before I try out some of these outfits, all right, take a look at Beauty 101 where we teach you. Fashion 2018 is on another level, Akinyi.
You know.
Right?
Buy Kenya, build Kenya.
There you go. All right, take a look, everyone. Akinyi, thank you so much for allowing us to come into your world and into your space. Beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
How long have you been here?
This particular space, we've been here less than a year.
Wow, it's gorgeous.
Because it took us a long time to just do it up.
Okay, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Your story is a beautiful one. 15 years ago, you, of course, had this passion for fashion. Tell us your story from then.
Wow, it's a long story. 15 years?
Girl, we got time. The whole show is for you.
It's quite a long story.
Yeah.
First, I would want to honor God for this opportunity because that's where I draw my strength, and that's where I, you know, it's my ultimate. Like without God, I wouldn't be where I am today. Yeah. So I always acknowledge God in every platform that I get, and I'm very bold about speaking about God. So it's nothing that I could ever be ashamed of because without Him, I wouldn't be where I am today. 15 years ago, I didn't imagine I could be sitting in a space like this. I'm a village girl. I was born in a small village in Siaya County called Rangala. And that's where I went to school. I went to Rangala Girls High School and was married in the same village. So I'm a total village girl. So coming to the city is just like any villager can come to the city and start figuring out what do you do next. After high school, I went to the military, so I went for training. I did about 2.5 years. And at some point, you know, you figure out that there are things you've done that it's not really what you want to do. And again, looking at your vision and what you want to do, maybe you have to let go. So I got married and had my children and became a housewife. For some time, and that's why for me family is also very, very key. So I was home for about 4 years just taking care of my children, and there were 2 of them, my 2 boys then. They are old now. And I started figuring out after that because I wanted to do fashion and I had to take care of the children first before I go to college. So I went to Evelyn's College of Design, a local college. That's the first ever, you know, first fashion college in Eastern Central Africa. So I went to college and did fashion, and I thought I need to do it as a profession and do it well. And my journey wasn't easy as well at Evelyn's College of Design because when we went through a rough patch in our home, so we lost our job and there was nothing that we could do. So I really had to think very quickly. In fact, even paying for the school fees at the college wasn't an easy thing for us. I stayed at home for quite some time, you know, just waiting to pay the school fees. Doing my projects in school, I couldn't afford materials from the shop. So I used to go to toy market. You know, there are little sheets, people who sell sheets. Yes. So you could find sheets that are cheaper, maybe for 50 shillings, 20 shillings, because they're not very good quality. So that's what I could buy and still do my project using those ones because I couldn't afford the materials that I needed. Yeah. But one thing that really stood out for me that my products were still very good, you know. So it didn't matter whether I was using a cheap material to create a piece. Yeah. It still stood out. And long story short, I finished and I got a distinction in my class when we graduated. Okay. I was among the best students and I thank God for that. And then I started the journey of now getting into the fashion space. I was a mother, you know, a wife, and all these things. So I had to be everything myself. I started wearing my own brand where I make clothes, however bad they are. Yeah. You know, I would do it on myself and wear. So whenever I walked around, people would ask me, oh, where did you get that piece? I would say, oh, I'm a designer, I made it. Mm-hmm. So I started owning and wearing my own. Because I figured out I don't have the money to do marketing and I'm not going to pay someone else to be a brand ambassador or things that people do. Yeah. But I had to be my own brand ambassador. So I got used to wearing my own piece. Because again, I asked myself, if I can't wear what I do, why do I expect other people to wear it?
Right.
You know, I have to wear it, I have to believe in it.
Yeah.
So it helped me, and I was able to find clients that I was stitching for a few of my friends. It was a one-man show where I was the tailor, I'm the accountant, I'm the shopper, I'm everything. So there's no space that I never walked in this town. I went to Ngara Market, I went to Kenyatta Market, Uhuru Market, Isili, Nairobi Textile, I mean, everywhere that you could go. So I carrying my paper bags with fabrics and taking orders. I could go to people's offices and take their measurements from there and then go and do it at home. We had moved into a smaller house, so I was using my children's bedroom to be my tailoring room.
Yeah.
So at night I could work overtime. Like even at night I would be there up stitching. And somehow I always make a joke that my children had the machine as a lullaby. So it never woke them up. Anyway, they still slept the whole night as I stitched on. And hard work and determination kept me moving. I believed in this thing that I'm doing, and I said, you know, I can grow it to whichever level I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, 15 years ago, I was like, I want to be like, you know, Marks and Spencer, Louis Vuitton, you know, all these big brands that people are proud to wear. I'm like, I can't be that because they are human beings just like us. And there's nothing that we cannot do. I mean, and for me, I always kept my focus and said, you know, I'm going to run this thing as a business, not as just fun and glam and fashion shows and just walking around. No, I purpose from the time I started that I will run it as a business.
Akinyi, one of the things, after you've told us this amazing story of the beginning of your journey, one of the things with, I think, every industry, but even more so the fashion industry in this country, is getting your foot in the door is always such a challenge for everyone. And within the fashion industry in Kenya, it seems very cliquish already. Talk to me a little bit about that. How was it for you?
It wasn't easy getting into the space and just doing your work, and sometimes you want to be part of a team or part of an industry that already exists. So there are a number of things that you'd really want to be part of the company. You know, when you come in and you're still new, you want to do shows, you want to do, you know, you want to be part of, you know, you want to be part of the team.
Yeah.
But then it becomes quite difficult to get into the team that already exists. And I think that is a challenge in every profession. I don't even just think it's fashion alone. Yeah. Even with in the industry, I'm very sure when you're a new kid in the block, then people are like, everybody watch, who are you, where are you coming from, and that. And a lot of times, even if you apply for a number of these things, either you're not, you're disqualified or you don't qualify. And as a beginner, you really get worn out. You're thinking, am I really doing the right thing? And, you know, will I really fit in? And you're always feeling like, oh, there's something going on there and I'm missing out. You know, the fact that you're feeling you're missing out. So I went through that season myself, and I thought, I really struggled to fit in where you want to be part of whatever it is. And you realize, no, you can't. You know, it becomes quite hard. And you can just make a decision and say, you know what, let me just do me. Yeah. You know, so, and then just decided, let me just do what I can do and not bother much about, must I be part of a clique or something like that.
Right, it's not about trending.
No, it's not about trending. It's not about getting your name.
It's about your profession and running this as a business, which you alluded to earlier. Akinyi, one thing I can definitely say, looking at your space, looking at some of your wonderful designs, looking at you and listening to you, it's obvious that you took your brand very seriously from the beginning. Talk to me a little bit about what your brand represents, and in terms of your designs, the practicality of it, why that? I took it very seriously from the time I started my business, and I always challenged myself and said, where do I want to be? You know, what do I want, and what is it that I like? I like structure, probably with the military training. Okay. You're like, turn left, turn right, so you're more structured. There's no way about it. And coming into an industry that people perceive to be an industry of liars, you know, where we steal your fabrics or we take your stuff or we'll always cheat you that come and then it's not done. I had to be very deliberate. And one of the things I prayed was that may God help me to be that ethical designer who does what she needs to do, you know, and always do the appointments, you know, deliver the time I need to deliver,
do what I need to do. And of course, you get challenges sometimes. You may have failed, maybe there's no power, you don't deliver. But again, do you communicate to your client in good time so that they don't drive from a certain area to come and then they're like, oh, you know, we didn't have power.
Yeah.
There's that part that you had to learn. You have to communicate to the client. One of the things that we really do until today, when you bring your own fabric, we'll be able to give you the remainder back.
Okay.
If you brought 6 yards and you're doing a jacket that will take only 3 yards or 2 yards, we'll give you back your 4 yards.
Yeah.
And if we have little pieces left, we will also pack them up for you. So those are some of the things that we made sure that we do it from the beginning, where we're saying we are ethical, we're not going to steal your fabric, we're not going to take things that don't belong to us. We work with a group in Kibera who are working with a children's home that do some patchwork art. So sometimes when we give clients their vitambaras, they're like, no, we don't need this. So those ones we would take and then share them with that home, and then we're able to do cushions and do a number of things together. Okay. So for me, I took it very seriously, and fashion for me is where I am. That is my area of calling, where there's nothing else that if I was a doctor, I think I would be doing the wrong things.
Right.
But I do believe that this is my space, this is where God called me to be, and that's where I need to change. And I need to be the change that I want to see.
Amazing.
So I purposely focus and work in this industry, just knowing that the challenges are there, yes, but there are a way out of doing it. When you do your things professionally well, plow it back, work hard, because again, it's not very many industries or banks or institutions that understand us. Yes. It's a very unique industry to understand, especially when you find that even the education system wasn't allowing more of art. You know, a lot of subjects were scraped out of class.
Right.
So it's an industry that you have to carve out a niche for yourself and really work at it and just find a way. And I'm glad with determination I've been able to just carve out that I need to do. And we have also just gotten our clientele, and now for us we deal, our clientele are those, you know, powerful women who know who they are, they know what they want, they love pieces that are timeless and pieces that you can use in different ways. Our pieces are not just pieces that you wear and throw away or for a function. You can wear them in different occasions. If you have a jacket or a coat from us, you're able to wear it to a wedding, you're able to wear it to an office, you're able to dress it down, dress it up. And we also help our clients to understand that these pieces that we make for you, they're not just pieces to be kept in the wardrobe for a function. They are pieces that you can use them every day. They're practical, they are decent. Whichever platform you are in, a very high power platform, you can still wear our piece and look very elegant.
Awesome.
You know, so we love it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You talked about when you started out, and you were taking care of your 2 sons. You're a mom. You have to take care and balance all these things out. You're going to school, and then you started out, and you talked a little bit about those locations where you were before here. Talk to me about when you look back and how you're growing. How does that make you feel?
Wow, it makes me feel really blessed. The challenges have been there. Oh my God, the challenges have been gross. But I always see a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't see darkness. I see a light, you know. So however little light that I see, I always just focus on that little light. And I focus more on thanking God what He's been able to take me through, as opposed to where the challenges that I face. Because if you give your challenges a focus, then you glorify them. They become bigger. But if you start focusing on the positive things that have been able to go on in your life, then you see life much brighter, much better. And from a small space where I was paying 12,000 shillings a month, and we went to a place where we were paying about 25. And we've gone growing in each and every level. I must say that it's a journey that I can't do differently. I believe in organic growth. I wasn't in a hurry to get to where I am today. I grew slowly and surely, you know, not in a rush, just patiently working this out, and with God's help, being able to achieve what I've achieved today.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so for me, it's been a journey of faith and a journey of being comfortable where you are and just working slowly. Because if you look around and start saying, oh my God, what is Kobi doing? Let me run and do what Kobi does. Or what is Lillian doing? Let me run and do what Lillian does. I mean, you get confused, and then you miss, even how will God bless you? I mean, you're like, are you selling cars or are you selling mandazis?
Right.
You know, so God also needs to know this girl is selling mandazi. So,
and be intentional.
And be intentional on selling that mandazi and package that mandazi very well and do it. So we need to be very intentional, just as the way I decided to be very intentional with Fundi Wanguo.
Right, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at some of the awards that are behind me, y'all, can you all see this? It looks so good. It's so wonderful. I love it when people display their accolades and their awards because it means something. It meant that you realized, first, there are amazing women in this town who love your designs.
Thank you.
And who keep coming back, who keep referring you. And then there are amazing platforms and organizations who have seen your blood, sweat, and tears and who get what you're trying to do and they've decided to award you for it. Tell me about that side of things.
It's quite humbling to be awarded. And it's another thing that I don't really focus on because I know I will receive my award in heaven better than just pieces of metal that I get here. But again, it's an encouragement to me that I'm doing something right. It has never been my focus to buy fame, and that has been very specific from the time I started. I don't look for media or I don't look for papers to come and focus on me or do a report on me, but they keep looking for me because they see what I do. And it has worked for me in a way that I'm busy working my thing out, you know. So as I'm busy working, there are people who are watching. So you'll find someone who always refer you and say, oh, can you go and feature Akinyi? Can you go and do this because she does this? I didn't know that whatever you do, people are actually watching.
Yeah.
They may not tell you on your face or start shouting and telling you, oh, you're doing this, but there are actually people watching, seated somewhere quietly watching you closely and checking every step of you. So whenever there's an opportunity that there can be, they would always refer you. Yeah. And one of the things that I know that has worked for me is that determination and hard work and not having shortcuts.
Right.
Doing the right thing at the right time and just being in your space and accepting where you are and not trying to be somebody else. And I think we lack a lot of authenticity.
Yeah.
Sorry. So there are a lot of fake things, you know, you want your fame, you want it, you want to buy, as you say, in social media, people buy followers or they buy so that you have million followers.
We're buying things we can't afford to impress people we don't even like.
Yeah, so I think for me, I love the fact that I just want to be organic. I mean, if it's my followers, let them just be 2 today, 2 tomorrow. I mean, let's just grow, let's just move. I mean, there's no big deal. Whether it's how many likes you have, it doesn't really matter whether you're having 2 likes, 3 likes, 100 likes, 1,000 likes, because currently it has become some of way people value people. Yeah. Where they look at your social media and say, oh my gosh, she's got 14 million followers. She must be very important. I mean, we are losing it. Right. Instead of, can we just focus on what we do and do it well? Naturally, things will just come and follow. Right. And that's the part that I decided to do, just to do things naturally. Slowly do my thing. Yeah. If you like my page, like it. If you want to follow me, but I'm not going to push it out that I must be followed.
I'll do that for you. All right. I'm going to just take that over for you, Akinyi, okay? Yeah. Log on to our social media platforms, everybody, where we'll connect you to this amazing brand, Akinyi Odongo Kenya trademark, okay? It's an awesome brand. And, of course, we'll connect you to her social media, and then you'll get a chance also to come and visit her here. For right now, we take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. We are still here at Akinyi Odongo Studio, and it's so amazing. I love your brand. I love the aesthetic, the way it looks, how clean and fresh it is. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Really amazing.
Thank you.
Today's show is not just about fashion, and I alluded to that earlier, everybody. Today's show is about encouraging people who might be feeling down and out, who might be feeling like giving up. Akinyi, from the first time I met you, I just get this wonderful vibe from you. You're very positive, you're very grounded. Tell me a little bit about that side of your life. What brings this out in you?
You know, Kobi, when I was just on my Facebook page, 2 days ago? Yeah. Because I think I shared about my journey of owning property. And I was posting and saying, you know, when life has pushed you like you feel you're under the bus and the bus is running over you and you're going to die, you have choices. You either have to make, I'm going to die or I'm going to leave. Yeah. Because there's power in the tongue. What you say and what you believe in is very powerful. It's never about what other people tell you, but what you believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. I've been through a number of trials and challenges in life. And as people see me, they see power, they see success, they see energy, but they forget. I mean, people never know. And apart from my close friends who pray with me, who've been with me in a long journey, know how many trenches I've gone through and the painful processes, the cries that I've gone through, I mean, the pains that I've gone through in my life. And when God takes you out of such moments, you can only look back and say, you know what? It's only God.
Yeah.
Because times come when no human being is around you except God, and maybe your children and your husband. Everybody else is away because there's nothing to look up to.
Right.
People look up to people when there's something that they can offer.
When it looks this
and
nice.
When it looks this nice, like
Right.
they see Akinyi Odongo, Kenya, that's beautiful. I want
Look
to
at you.
Look at her. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to associate with her. But they do not know the journey, or they don't understand. But there are those people who know me and know my journey, that when they look at me, they see the glory of God. Yeah. And that's how I see myself. Where I look back and look at myself and they say, I see the glory of God. And that's why I'm very positive each and every day. Because I tell everybody, my followers and people that I meet, that there's absolutely nothing in this world that God cannot solve. There's no problem that God cannot see us through.
Right.
Even if you look at this nation where we are from a very heated election and a very divided nation, we are still here, and God is still holding that fabric. So for me, I'm positive always, and say that there's absolutely nothing that God cannot do. And that's why I exude that energy, and however much challenges I face, I know I serve a big God that is so bigger than my problems. Amazing. So I just need to focus and see, how do I focus on the positive side? Remember when I mentioned that you need to look at the positive things as opposed to the negative things.
Yeah, because we can all sit around and focus on
I may
the
start
negative.
saying that probably I don't have fare today. Assumably I don't have fare, because I can relate to that, because there are days I couldn't even afford to fare. I could walk to town and walk back. And I don't have fare, but I have legs. So do I see the fact that I don't have fare, or do I thank God that I have my legs to walk to town or walk back home?
And that you're alive and
you're alive and you're breathing, and that there's
Yeah.
somebody somewhere in a hospital struggling to breathe, but you're breathing, but you're still there feeling poor and feeling sad about yourself and saying, I'm finished. And as I mentor a number of young people, I tell them, I don't take excuses for someone saying, or I'm an orphan, or I'm poor, or all these negative things don't work around me. I don't work well with negative energy. So if anybody is around me and they're negative, I'll either just shut you down or just get you off my life, because I love positive people.
Yeah.
It gives you more energy. It shows that you're able to live on again. Because if you sit and feel pity about yourself, I mean, there's
It's not productive.
It's
it
not
has
productive.
zero results.
It has zero results.
Yeah.
And I read a book by Joyce Meyer called Me and My Big Mouth.
I love that book.
Me and My Big Mouth. There are seasons that I used to complain a lot, where I'm like, this, that, all this. And when I read that book, I shut my mouth, and I don't talk about negative things. Because when I walk into a space, when I meet you, like the time I met you, Kobi, I'm like, I meet a beautiful woman, I mean, energetic. I don't care what other people say about you, but all I see is God's image, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I purpose to do. And that's why God created us. We could just love on each other, you know.
Yeah.
And there's nothing impossible for me. So I'm very grounded in God, because He's my foundation, He's my strength, He's my all in all.
Amazing.
Because He's traveled with me where a man could not travel with me. He's walked with me where a man could not walk with me. Because men do give up and they do get tired.
Yeah.
So if you put your hopes on men, then you're done.
Very
But
true.
you put your hopes in God, you've got a partner for the rest of your life.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So you told me to just say a word to
those Kenyans
to the Kenyans who are feeling like we are done, you know, from election, the economy is bad, things are tight, things are bad. One of the greatest things that always happens to me is when I'm in my lowest point.
Okay.
And when I'm in my lowest points in life, what I do is to think. That's my opportunity to think of a solution of my problem. Because you will be having a very good mindset to think. Because you are in a problem and you need a solution for it. So when you look at your problem and try to look for a solution, you'll get an idea.
Yeah.
And that's how I always get ideas. things like, and I have a training institute, MEFA Institute of Design,
Yes.
where I train designers. We are registered with a higher education, Ministry of Higher Education Learning. And how did that come about? Because as Kenyans are complaining about elections and all these things, your Jubilee, your ODM, your all this, I'm like, okay, God, I can't start complaining. Me and my big mouth, remember Joyce Meyer, I can't start complaining. What am I going to do? I'm like, I've been training in this part-time, and let me go to the ministry and ask, what does it take to, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you realize there are very easy things to do. I mean, we need to focus as a nation on positive things.
Yeah.
And we as Kenyans, as individuals, we need to, in your area of calling, what change are you going to make? There is absolutely so many solutions to the problems that we have. Look at the floods right now. What are the solutions? We are complaining.
Right.
We've got bottles hanging around. I mean, is there somebody thinking, where can I get these bottles and crush them or melt them and create a table or create a chair? Can we just stop?
I even saw a guy in town who decided, I'm going to start selling canoes. I mean, the guy has tapped into opportunity.
Yeah, and I also saw a video of some Kenyans, I mean, who are putting their mkokotenis and you pass and they take 10 bob.
Yes, I saw that.
We are so creative. So how do we put that creativity into practice?
Yeah.
So instead of complaining, can we look at what are the problems that you're having and what solution? Because when God created each and every one of us, we are a solution to a problem.
Yeah.
So all we need to know is, what problem am I a solution of?
Very well said. Very well said. Very well said. All right. What problem are you the solution to? I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Take a look at Get Lifted, okay? When we come back, we go back to fashion. She's got something to give away, and it's really awesome. The fashion agenda is our next topic, and of course, encouraging other young designers out there. Take a look at Get Lifted. If you are one of those Kenyans who's been complaining, just stop. Stop it. See what it's done for Akinyi? Take a look.
What stood out for me is that a group of people can actually come together to create a platform in the fashion industry in terms of styling and fashion. It's a very unique space, and to find that people who are not necessarily in the field can just sit down and decide to come up with such a forum, which I think is fantastic. And looking at where the fashion industry is right now in Kenya and in Africa, we need such kind of forums where we are able to be taught in a number of, we're able to learn a number of ways to do things. What stood out for me, especially for the times of colors, how to give your styles of different body shapes, different colors, what works for your body types, that stood out for me. It's things that we learn is true, where sometimes, to just get the other perspective, to get more enlightened, it's even better. When it comes to the corporate, which was the second day, which was today, as I listened through, it was very practical for me, because it's something that I do with clients often, the corporate clients. And again, just to hear the other perspectives of areas of how to capture the corporate and how to look at corporate clients was also very insightful, and it's going to be a key major role in the growth of my business, to know how am I going to step it a bit further, to be under someone who's been Lula, who has done this for over 20 years. I've been in the fashion industry for 11 years, so I mean there's that expertise and there's that experience that she's got that has really, is going to build what I already have. So that is something that really stands out for me. And also just meeting other designers and meeting other people doing other things, and having a forum where we're able to discuss as creatives and designers and see where are we taking the next, the fashion to the next level. And we also had, what also stood out, because we had Minister of Industrialization represented in the forum, and that was very key, because fashion is very close to my heart. And I look at how do we take this to the next level, and having ministry to agree to come and just listen out and help us also forge forward on what you're going to do, it's also very, very key. And for a first time event, I think I would rate it at Between 10 to, I'll give it 7.5, which is a very good thing for a first time event, and to have the corporate full to capacity that we didn't have space. I mean, for me, it just showed that actually even companies are looking into how do they improve their own employees and on their looks and how, and it's an opportunity for even local designers to start looking in this. How do we then expand our thoughts and our business to go? We could actually approach these corporates and see how do we design for their people? How do we also keep advising? Because Lula has come once and she's gone. Probably she'll come back next year. So what happens in between? And I want to believe that the Styles Tribe is going to come up with a program where there's a follow-up. Since they already have a database of the existing designers and people that they think that will be able to be matched with these organizations, they could actually have a follow-up and bring in the designers together, because I think that's one of the key agenda, to actually expose the designers to the market, because sometimes people don't know who are these designers who are here. You're telling us to dress this way or that way, but who are they? We don't know who they are. And the exhibition where we were able to showcase a few designers who are available or who are able to come, it's just a good beginning for us. And we're hoping that next year, when you have the same event, it's more bigger, more days, and eventually have a fashion show.
There you have it, everybody. I hope you're feeling lifted. The fashion agenda has been a huge agenda for you personally, and you want people to know about this. Tell me a little bit of the background of the fashion agenda, Akinyi.
Fashion Agenda Africa is a vision, and I'd say it's a God-given vision. Out of my experiences as a designer and as I grow as a brand, there are a lot of challenges that I've faced. And some of these challenges I realized I would have sorted them out easier if I had established designers who are before me, who could handhold me and support me and direct me. Then I would have not made some mistakes that I made. It could have maybe taken me not 15 years, but maybe 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah.
I knock all government doors. I mean, in terms of this brand where I've knocked so many government doors. Export Promotion Council, Ministry of Industrialization, KIPI, KIRDI, KEBS, even I've worked with all these people.
Okay.
And I realized there's so much that we have in this nation that we don't even know as citizens and we don't follow up on.
Okay.
I didn't know that even clothes, I have to have standards, and the standards for clothing in Kenya.
I didn't know that either. Well, I know they've been pushing that.
I didn't know. And those are some of the things that I've been able to do with my brand to where we are today.
Okay.
And I looked back and said, time comes when it's not just about you. It's about a generation. It's about a nation. It's about a continent. It's about the world. And what change are you making in the world? And what happens when I pass on? Do I want to be known to be that designer who owned buildings, or do I want to be known as that designer who changed lives?
Yeah.
I choose the second, where I want to be known as a born-again Christian fashion designer from Kenya that changed lives across Africa. Yeah. And that brands were born out of her mentorship. So I've done this for the last 4 years, mentoring a lot of designers across Africa.
Okay.
And last year I decided to take it a notch higher and just say, like, can I do, it's still in the process of formalizing and doing a number of things, and say, Africa is the focus right now and we are the change, and the change is us. And no one else will come and do it for us. So we have to do it ourselves. Time has come when we don't have to wait for the governments to do things for us. We need to go to them and make them do what they need to do.
Yes.
So it takes a lot of boldness, because I've worked with them and I've seen the potential that they've got. I've seen the policies, I've seen the things that they've done researches on that the common wananchi need to use. Yeah. So I decided to know I need to create a platform where I have all these young designers who reach out to me. Can you be my mentor? Can you be my mentor? I can't do it alone. So let's form a group. Let's put it together. So I have over probably 3,000 designers across Africa.
Wow.
In Botswana, I have a group of about 105 right now. And I use technology to talk to them. We use WhatsApp group, Telegram, and they ask questions and I'm able to answer. And we are looking into other ways of doing it easier, you know, where it will grow. And this is a movement that is going to change the fashion space in Africa, and starting from Kenya.
Right.
And just mentoring them, I've seen their lives change. Just looking at the videos that I'll be able to share with you, some of them giving their testimonials and just talking on what I've been. Seeing them growing from 1.1 to 0.7, for me, just gives me joy. Because I wouldn't want to be that designer who is in this space of her own, and no one else should reach her, and this is her space, Akinyi Odongo only. No, I need to be in this space where Akinyi Odongo, amongst other brands, are up there, and Kenyans and Africans have got variety of brands to choose from. Not everybody may be able to afford my brand. Not everybody may love my aesthetic. They may love someone else's. So can we bring this together? So that's the reason for Fashion Agenda Africa. Just passing on the information that I have, teaching them along what I've gone through, and let them not make the mistakes that I made. What has taken me 15 years can take them 5 years, 6 years. So let's make it easier for the next generation. Because I also have a problem by people saying, you're the leaders of tomorrow. You're the leaders of tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. When I was 18, I was being told you're the leaders of tomorrow. I'm now 40, going 41, I'm the leaders of tomorrow. So for me, I said, can we change the narrative? I mean, we have a bulging youth growing up in Africa, and then what are we doing with them? If we don't involve them, if we don't handhold them, who will handhold them? And when you do that, you're not only doing for myself or for them, because I'm very specific to my mentees and tell them, I'm doing this to you, with you. You need to do it with other people as well. So our slogan is lighting another's candle. So as I light their candles, they have the responsibility to light other candles. And those other candles will light other candles. And within no time, we have a whole bright Africa with brands and fashion houses that are amazing, and people are able to come and buy from us. And we become and Kenya should be it's the hub of Africa, should be the fashion hub of Africa.
Absolutely.
And that's my vision. So for this Fashion Agenda Africa, I have reached out to the government institutions that I've worked with closely, and invited the CEOs. It takes a lot of work. I have to go speak to them, make calls, say, please come. We as designers would want to work, and how do we work with you people? Can we partner? Can we work together? And I'm so glad, and I thank God that a lot of CEOs have accepted to come for this event. So it's an honor. We are going to have the event at Kenya Association of Manufacturers Boardroom, Boardroom 1. We have a limited seating. I think we can only take about max of 50 people. So the quicker they book their spaces, the better for them. We have EPC, Export Promotion Council CEO, coming. We have KIRDI, Kenya Industrial Research, coming. We have KEBS, Kenya Bureau of Standards, coming. We have
this is amazing.
KRA.
Wow. I mean, because you think about being a designer and doing sketches, and it's all
you're
nice.
doing sketches and it's all
you
nice.
Have to deal with all
you
these
have to deal with all this for them to be businesses. So we have KRA coming. We have Kenya Association of Manufacturers coming, which I am part of, and I'm also part of the textile sector in CAM, where we are discussing issues, matters, textile, and where Kenya needs to go in the textile industry. We have Ministry of Industry and Cooperatives. We have an SME desk in the ministry. She's coming too. We have who else? I mean, everybody. The officers that I feel we need to work with as a fashion industry. KIPI is coming. Intellectual property. I mean, we need to know, how do we make sure that all these things that we do, we have patents, and we have trademarks and all these things. We need to start having conversations with government bodies, and looking at our focus is actually, we are asking the government, which way government in this particular sitting, because looking at what the president spoke about during his speech, the Big Four agenda, textile and leather was his big part. And he mentioned it very clearly, textile, and I was like, textile and leather, I need to know. So we need to know, what is this? What is the government doing? And we as the fashion designers, how do we fit in? How do we benefit out of this? And we need to be heard. And we can only be heard when we are structured. And we run as businesses. One of the things that I realized as a mentor, that most of the young people are not registered businesses. They run their brands on social media, they have a lot of following, but they're not registered. So now for you to be part of Fashion Agenda Africa, one of the rules that you must be a registered business.
Okay.
So once you're a registered business, you will join. We charge 2,500 yearly fee for you to be part of the Fashion Agenda Africa. And then we are having our calendar of events. Every quarter we have something involved. Like this month, we are dealing with the government institution. Let's come sit together, see how we can work together, partner. Brand Kenya is also part of us.
Nice.
They're coming.
Okay.
So once we do this, the next quarter we want to meet with the manufacturer. So we have our calendar really structured out, and you want to see how do we push this. And that way then we are able also to be very professional. And Kenyans, the market is looking for professional designers. They're looking for quality products, you know, because some of the challenges, like you have everything going around, are they of good quality?
Yeah, exactly.
And
then you also want unique pieces
yeah,
that last, you know.
So
wow.
For me, it's about leaving a legacy, and there's something for everybody. The cake is too big. I've had people ask me, but Akinyi, you're doing the same thing. Why are you mentoring other people? Don't you think they'll also get into your space? I'm like, my blessing, no one will ever take.
And nobody can touch that.
And nobody can touch that.
Absolutely.
No.
All right, guys, so take a look at this. Did you know, okay, when it comes to designing in Africa, there's a huge movement happening. If you're sitting under a rock, step out of the rock, okay? Akinyi and very, very many amazing designers in this continent are doing the right things to put us on the map for all the right reasons. Take a look at this little snippet, and then you come back, I won't be wearing this, I'll be wearing Akinyi Odongo design. This story, no.
Yeah, you should wear local. I mean,
right now, this is local.
Oh, that's local?
This is local.
Oh, nice.
Actually,
beautiful.
this is, what's her name? Yvonne, Afro Street Collection.
Oh, great.
She made this for me, and this is from Tommy. Yes.
Go, girl.
Girl. Ata is viatu, local. Although from China, but through the way of local. All right, we'll be right back. Take a look. Oh, guys, we're back. I told you. I'll be adorned in bespoke vibes. Ay, Akinyi. You're going to weather me. I love this.
Thank you.
And isn't it just appropriate for the weather?
For the weather, I mean, it's very easy. It's a piece that a lot of people love. The fact that we have even the pockets. We have two different types of pockets. You can actually put your hands through here.
Very nice. Ooh, yes. You know, I love pockets, man.
And they just pose and feel like,
Ooh,
you know,
very royal. You feel royal in this, and it's
really
also practical.
It's very practical, and you can still use the other patch pocket on top. I mean, we are very detailed on what we do. We don't just make clothes.
Yeah,
we are doctors of clothes.
Right. This is beautiful.
So that is a button there. We have a zipper. So. An open and zipper, it has that, and you can still wear it open. I mean, it depends on how you feel. You can still wear it. Yeah.
I saw this actually on Instagram. I said that earlier. Please take me through this jacket. Tell me what inspired this, because I want it so badly.
I mean, this jacket, we call it power.
It's so beautiful.
It's a jacket that when you wear, it's actually very Kenyan. It gives you power. Masai is a fabric that is really been used across the world with even bigger designers all over the world. But this is a specific one that was woven for us. Okay. So if you touch it, the feel is very different. It's soft. It was woven for us in Nakuru. There's a factory in Nakuru called Bedi. That's where the fabric was woven, just specifically for Akinyi Odongo, Kenya.
This is nice.
So the colors are amazing. We just opted to go for this one piece that everybody would wear and be proudly Kenyan.
Stands out.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
What you're wearing, can you just do a catwalk for us, please?
Okay, what I'm wearing today
I know you're not a model, Mama, but I know you look it. You look it. Can you just saunter this beautiful design?
This piece is, I work with a number of women, handloom weavers across Africa.
Okay.
In Ethiopia, Kenya.